What is up, Killas? It's your girl April and I'm back with another video. Before we start, make sure that you like this video, subscribe to my channel, and hit the post notification button. Give me 1 second. So, by the title of this video, you already know I'm talking about my horrible best friend roommate situation. It is a very long video. So, if you are not wanting to hear all that tea and see me like spaz out and have my moments, exit out, skip to different parts, get the gist of it. So I moved from Arkansas to Florida the day after Thanksgiving because my life and my family was just too intense for me at the time, and I graduated high school early and I was like, screw it, like I can actually move out because I have no ties to the state anymore. So I love my parents, love my family, but I was like, I can't do this, like this is not for me, like living in this state is not for me. So I moved in with my best friend. Everything was good until we got boyfriends. Keep in mind, my boyfriend's fine. Like, yes, he wasn't employed some of the times, but my boyfriend was fine. Treated everyone with respect. Anywho, so it started like that, and it kind of just progressed because every time I'd complain about her boyfriend, she'd bring up the fact that my boyfriend didn't pay bills. Excuse me. And that was the first issue. So, like, and we had our on and off moments, but we always made up. And it was like, it was okay until the boyfriends became part of it or chiming in to give their input when it wasn't needed. Keep in mind, it wasn't my boyfriend because he just didn't like drama, didn't put himself in it. So whenever her and I would fight, or her and I and her boyfriend would fight, he wouldn't put himself in it. So like, he wasn't ever an issue. So one day, she finds out that he's cheating, right? And keep in mind, this is my best friend, someone I've known since 9th grade of high school. Like, care for her, been there for her all the gosh darn time. Saved her life. I saved her life when her boyfriend didn't know what to do. Keep in mind, because that's going to come back to the end of the story. So, I guess he cheated and was messing around and wasn't telling the truth. He was flip-flopping because there were new girls that moved in across the street, and she didn't like that he would go over there by himself. And so she would feel some type of way. And he would, because we had another girl living with us that was an issue for the other girls that were living there, he would talk crap to them, come back and tell us what they said, and then go back and tell them what we said. And like, that's flip-floppy, that's two-faced. I don't like that, because at the end, when all of us girls sat down and asked them everything, they're like, no. Like, what? And I'm like, oh, so there's one common denominator. That boy be spreading shit. So, I'm trying to get my vape. So, after that, like, it just kind of went downhill. She, like, every time they'd fight, she'd always ask us to help kick him out because she's done. She'd let him right back in, you know, da-da-da-da-da. She has an issue that, because I'm not going to expose her like that. I'm a bigger woman. I'm not going to do that anymore. But if you saw my Snapchat, you know. She has an issue that, you know, he found out about that issue and he still stayed with her. But in that time frame, he cheated on her. But then went back to sleeping with her. So she, you know, made him get rid of his phone, bought him a new one, and like, so she could basically monitor everything and all this other stuff. And made friends with, I guess, the girls that he cheated on her with, and found out a lot of stuff. Comes to figure out, he took my car to do it. When he told me he was taking my car other places, no, he took my car to go sleep with other women, other girls, because these are underage girls. So I feel some type of way towards that man. And that was kind of like where it started, where I like officially just started like, fuck this place, fuck this family, fuck everything. Like, I cannot stand it. So everything started getting more messy. Parties would be happening because he wanted to move by his friends over. And I was always stressing out because she wanted her boyfriend home, or she wanted something, he wouldn't be there. And I'm that best friend to be like, trying to fix it because that's my best friend. I don't want her heartbroken or sad. Anywho, so then, like, fast forward, like, a couple weeks after we had, like, a kickback, his friend, I guess, pocketed my vape. But when I found it, it was in his backpack. So I thought he stole from me. So I was like, okay, this is it. Like, done with the disrespect. So I sit everybody down. I tell everybody to be quiet until I'm finished talking. And I start going off. Because at the time, we had another couple living with us. So I was like, you guys live here rent free. You guys argue way too much. Your dog craps on the carpets. Like, the vibe's horrible. Like, you either need to stop or get the fuck out. And do some goddamn chores around here. Because, like, yeah, her boyfriend was doing the chores. Like, the other couple, her boyfriend was doing the chores, but she wasn't doing jack shit. So I was kind of making it, like, well aware. Because he was complaining about it, too. So well aware that, like, we need to start pitching in more. And I go to his friend, and I'm like, hey, like, we let you hang out here, and I feel very disrespected that you stole from me, and And I look at her boyfriend, my best friend / roommate, and I go, and we let you live here rent-free, and you do all this, and you treat her like shit, and And he goes, bro, who the fuck do you think you're talking to? Who the fuck you think you're talking to? You're not gonna fucking talk to me like that, bitch. And I was like, who the fuck do you think you're talking to? I was like, get the fuck out of my house. I was like, get the fuck out of my house. I was like, get the fuck out of my house. He says that, no, I'm chill. I'm not getting out of your house. I was like, whatever. So I stand up and I go, if anybody has an issue, you can pack your shit and get the fuck out. So I ran to the bathroom and I have never felt so angry. And I really wanted to kill somebody that day. And so I punched the toilet and, like, the seat you could now pull off. And that's what she posted about, but we'll talk about that later. And so then she came in there comforting me, and I told her, I was like, tell him to leave. Tell him to leave right now. And so she told him to left, and I heard it. She's like, you need to leave. In that time frame, my boyfriend came in the bathroom, calmed me down. I was, like, breathing heavily, but still good. And so, yeah, later that morning, he opens up the door. I hear her. I hear the door open. I'm like, who's here? She goes, don't worry about it. And I'm like, she's like, just let him walk to my room. And I'm like, see? And that was part of the issue, because that female has no self-respect and no self-love enough to put a nigga in his place. So that was one of the issues with the living situation. And so I, from there, like, her mom came over a couple days later because we got into a fight. Her mom came over and had my mom on the phone. My mom lives 16 hours away. It has nothing to do with any of our drama, and was talking about what we're going to do about the living situation, because apparently her daughter was complaining to her mom, saying she can't live with me anymore. I wasn't saying shit. I was like, I'm just going to go lay in bed with my boyfriend because, like, I can't deal with this. And keep in mind, at this time, I was getting so stressed out that I couldn't work. I was getting physically sick. Like, I thought I was pregnant, but turns out it was a stress baby. Life was just stressing me out too much. So, like, every time I'd think about her, or, like, worry about her, or worry about her relationship, or worry if dishes were done because nobody was grown enough to do anything in that apartment, I would stress out and throw up. Every time her and her boyfriend had an issue because she brought it to my attention, I would stress out and throw up. Every time me and my boyfriend made, like, it was just a whole bunch of issues. And then I also was stressing out because I was not able to pay my bills because I'm over here sitting in bed stressed out. So at this time, I now have this amazing job, and they're an amazing company, and I'm so happy that they've stuck with me for so long. So I called them, and I was like, I cried so much. I'm like, I'm so sorry. Like, I understand if you guys fire me because I keep calling in and not coming in, but, like, I physically could not work. And they're like, we understand, we'll give you a couple days. And I was like, okay. So keep in mind, at this time, we put in an order to break the lease because her and I couldn't live together. So at this time, it now comes to my attention that I have a week to get the fuck out of the apartment. And I was like, okay, well, I have nothing. I don't know what to do. I was like, I don't know what to do. Her mom's like, oh, I can't help you. You have to figure that out. Turns out that her and her boyfriend and his friend were going to stay in that apartment. They were just kicking us out. So I was like, okay. So then I asked her mom, I'm like, so are we getting out of this apartment or not? And she goes, turns out they didn't want it anymore. And I was like, okay, obviously you're going to say that because, like, I caught you. You're just kicking me out. And so then the whole situation, we all sat down, and my mom was on the phone. They're like, do you still want to live here? And I was like, oh, I honestly like don't care. And she's like, yeah, she got mad because she was arguing with me and I didn't want to put the time of day into it, so I muted her notifications on my phone. I muted her text messages because I just wanted a break. I muted everybody. I muted her whole family and my family. The only person that was unmuted was my boyfriend, and at that time he didn't even have service on his phone. So like, you know. And she was talking about that. She's like, she's childish for it. She went to go drive girls to go fight somebody. And I was like, yeah, and? I was like, your boyfriend's sleeping with underage girls. Now it's, that's not the issue. That's not the issue. We'll stay on topic. And I'm like, oh, so we're putting my things at fault, everything that I've done wrong, but we can't bring up that she let a rapist into our house. Okay. So then, that's kind of where I realized that even though her family is my family and we're family, they always got her side no matter what, because every time we ever argue, it's always message April, talk crap on April, never make her own up for her shit because she's a grown-ass woman. So I guess after her mom left, because we made the agreement that we were going to talk about it. So after her mom left, we sat and we talked to each other, and I was like, I love you. I don't want to live without you. She's like, I love you too. Like, I can't live without you either. So I was like, so how are we going to make this work? So we sat and talked about how we're going to make it work. For a while, we did really good. Like, we actually talked about our issues. Every time we'd argue, she'd come out and she'd be like, I don't want to fight this. We shouldn't fight about this. Let's just talk about it. And I'd be like, great. Like, I've been wanting this the whole time. So like, I'm glad I finally got it. Then the boyfriend started stressing her out, started stressing me out. Everything got big. And like, at the end of the day, like, I love her and I stood by her side, but I'm not going to keep repeatedly tell you something and give you advice and you not take it and come back to me the next day and complain. So I told her, I was like, I love you, I care for you, but he obviously doesn't, and and like, I don't want to hear you complain about your relationship drama unless it's super serious, because like, it's stressing me out to the point where and it gets fixed 30 minutes later. She goes, you're a horrible friend, I'll just go find other friends, I have other friends, whatever. So I was like, okay, see, you took it a little too far, because I'm just trying to care about myself and my mental health. You're mad because I stopped caring about one part of your life that you don't even care about, I guess. Like, so it just kind of like opened my eyes. So at that time, I was talking to other people about moving out, finding new roommates, because I was like, I can't live here anymore. And then my boyfriend's sister moved down here, and that's the place we live in now. Moved down here and got her own place, got a 2-bedroom, lives with her guy. I don't know what they are. Lives with her guy. And so she's like, you guys can move in. And I was like, great opportunity, because like, I am dying, like, physically I was killing myself so much by living there. And so I was like, yeah, like, I would love to move in, because like, I can't live there anymore. And it took like 3 days. So I texted her mom while I was at work, and I was like, hey, I'm moving out, And she's like, well, there's so much you gotta do and so much you gotta pay, and you gotta fix this and fix that. And I was like, okay, well, like, she's like, you can't just move out. And I was like, okay, well, living here is costing me too much physical damage. Like, I can't live there and keep my sanity and everything. She's like, I understand. And she's like, well, I don't know how you're gonna do it. Like, basically bringing up that I'm broke and So I was like, whatever. Because that family, money. She knows that my ex-roommate knows she doesn't have to work because her mom will always pay for everything. And that was one of the issues, was her mom would always tell me that she's going to cut her off. She's not going to buy her a car because she crashed her last one on drugs. She's not going to do this. She's not going to do that. And she still does it. So I'm like, how can I sit here and believe you, but then also you do this and you tell me you're not going to do this and all this other crap. So I was like, I told her. Then I came home, told her daughter, I was like, hey, like, I'm moving and I need you to know that I still love you. I still care for you. I will still see you. It's just we need to like separate each other because our issues are like clashing. Like, everything is clashing and we can't do this. So I told her, and she's like, okay, I understand. I was like, okay. So then, like, later that day, I pick up my boyfriend from work, I believe, and we start packing our stuff up and we start getting everything ready. The other part was we had another person living with us, and I told him, he got mad because he couldn't get a ride to work or drive my car anymore. So that was the one issue. He's like, well, how am I gonna get to work? I was like, I don't know. He's like, oh, you didn't take into consideration me and I was like, no, dude, I don't care about you right now. I'm caring about me, my health, and my baby. Like, fuck you. You find another way to work. I shouldn't have been your initial way to work. So that was an issue. And so I just couldn't take anymore. I couldn't take living there and the drama and the stress and the strife and just feeling like I was owned. Like, feeling like I was owned, because keep in mind, every time we did fight, she was like, my name's on the lease, her name's not on the lease, da da da, or you don't pay your full bills. That would make me very angry, because keep in mind, I was the only person working in that house. The only reason she had money coming in is because her mother was paying for everything and her school was paying for everything. But then she quit school, so basically mom's paying for everything. So we made up, and this is before we moved out. We made up and we were cleaning the carpets, and her mom comes by because she's like, you gotta move this, gotta do this. She comes by and she goes, why is your boyfriend home? And I was like, well, because he stayed home to help us. He's like, he should be at work. Why is he here? And then she shut us down to yell at us about all of us having jobs. And I was like, okay, see, this is like kind of fucked up, because he has a job. He stayed home to clean because it is such a big fucking issue to you that this apartment is clean even though everything's moved. Like, we have someone coming in to clean the carpets. Like, obviously, this apartment's clean and everything. So she made a big issue about that, but didn't call out her daughter for it. Wasn't yelling at her for having a job, even though she just texted me, like, you look for a job yet today? No, I didn't. Oh, okay. Well, you need to look for a job, and da-da-da-da-da, and I'm not going to pay your bills, da-da-da-da. Still pays her bills. Anywho, so that was one of the issues. So when I moved out, like, when we were in the process of moving, I told my boyfriend, I said, we gotta be quiet, because there's eyes and ears in the other room, and I know people are gonna start talking as soon as we start moving stuff down to the car. So I believe later that day, the first day of us packing up our stuff and going, she's like, so you're moving? And I was like, I'm not gonna answer it, because it's obvious. So I'm packing up every single thing in my room. Obviously, I'm freaking moving. And so then the whole issue settled, and her mom's like, you're moving today? And I was like, yeah, like, I want to get out. Like, I do not like living here. Like, it has become a shit show. Like, no respect for anybody, nothing's getting done, and it seems like the only person who cares about it is me. So I wanted to leave, and my boyfriend was like, this situation is going to be better for you living wise, because you're not going to be so stressed out, and I hate that you're so stressed out. So I was like, okay, we'll do it. And I was like, as long as you're okay with it and you're okay with leaving your buddies, I'm okay. He's like, yeah, like, you're my family, like, I love you. And I was like, okay. So then I move out, right? This trick ass bitch decides to take me off the phone plan, thinking that I'm the one who doesn't have a job and can't pay for anything myself, and thought it would be payback or an issue that she took me off the phone bill. Took me off the phone bill. Her mom texted me. I blocked her whole family. Her whole family. Because I was like, I'm done. Like, I don't want anybody to talk to me. Her mom texted me, right? Talking about how you need to unblock her because she needs to talk to you about this whole T-Mobile thing. And I was like, whatever. I unblock her. She calls me a T-Mobile on the phone. We end it. And I was like, okay, good. Like, keep in mind, baby, I can pay $130 a month. Like, that's not an issue. You have to worry about paying $130 a month, because you don't know what it's like to live on your own without anybody helping you or sustaining your life. I had a job at 16, got my own car, worked for everything. So, like, at this point, like, right now, I'm laughing because I know in the end, she's gonna wish she would have actually put in the time to bettering our friendship than to being a spoiled brat and worrying about just herself and her boyfriend. Basically. So then after that, I was like, oh, I was a little hurt, because I was like, I told her, I was like, that's the one way, like, we keep connection is, you know, I have to come to you to pay the phone bill. And she was like, other than the $145 you owe me a month, like, I don't want to hear from you or see or talk to you. And I was like, okay, man, that's cool. She was the one who hit me up, canceled our phone bill. And I was like, baby, you're the one who wants all the attention, wants to talk to me, wants to still be. So after that, I exposed her for an issue that she has. And her mom was like, tell him, because then I told her mom, because my mom was yelling at me. She's like, why'd you do that? Why'd you do that? And I was yelling at my mom. I was like, why the fuck are you siding with her? Like, I'm your daughter. You shouldn't be siding with her. You should be siding with me. And she was yelling at me and telling me that I shouldn't have exposed her. And I was like, I don't care. That girl put me through living hell. I'm going to expose every little bit and everything I know about her to everybody that she conversates and knows. Because karma's a bitch and I'm an asshole. So her mom, I told her mom, I was like, why are you talking to my mom? Please quit talking to my mom. I'm an adult and you can come talk to me. She's like, you're not an adult and you're not acting like one. Please don't contact me or my daughter. I will file harassment to the Jacksonville Police Department if you don't quit. And I'm like, harassment for what? I went through 7 months of hell. I saved your daughter's life. And when I brought that up, it was like we're very thankful for it, but that's not the issue. No, the issue is that you're asking me to pay for damages to that apartment, which I will respectfully say my dog that I had at the time did, or I did myself. But at that time, your daughter was also being a piece of motherfucking work. I saved her from overdosing in my car. Keep in mind, my freaking car. Nobody else's, my car. And so I was just like super, like really butthurt that like money was really a talk right now, and like mentally and physically I'm dying and I don't owe you anything. I've done everything. So like, yeah, I exposed her, and then she came on my Instagram talking all this crap and like, you're the one who hits toilets and screams. And I was like, okay, well that was because your boyfriend pissed me off and was yelling at me in my freaking home. And she was like, she would say it wasn't my home because my name was on the lease. That's just how she is. That's the only thing she can hold over my head, is that my name was on the lease. And she knew that was the one way she could use to like manipulate me, is like, hey, your name's on the lease, like I can kick you out whenever I want. Anywho, yeah, her mom said she's gonna file harassment, and she also told me to take down my YouTube video about her. So that's why I'm making a whole new one, because why the fuck not? Like, I went through that situation. It's not harassment, it is a story. It is a truthful story that I have evidence and stuff to back it up for. I'm not talking crap about anybody. I mean, I'm not harassing anybody. It might be crap, but then also she's talked her fair share of shit. I know her. I was friends with her since the 9th grade. I know how she is. She talks her fair share of shit. No matter how rich your mama is, how much political issue you have, baby girl, you're not going to stop me from speaking who I am and speaking out about an issue that influenced me to do better, want better, and pick better friends, and also taught me that, like, no matter how long you're in my life, you ain't mean shit. Unless you prove it. Nigga proved it, you in my life forever. Everybody else, other friends, haven't really proved it unless, like, time of need. Like, I have friends that I will call right now, and if they pick up because, like, hey, like, are you okay? Like, what's going on? Like, I miss you type of thing. For her, it was the same way. But then also it was more like a me giving, her taking, nothing, me not receiving anything. So yeah. Anywho, that's this video. I am so sorry you guys had to sit through that horrible story time. I just hope it opens your guys' eyes that like living with your friends is not the most ideal thing in the world, because you can't address issues that you would address if it was just a roommate, you know? Yeah, as I said in the beginning of the video, make sure you like and subscribe. Hit the post notification button, and you killers have a wonderful day.